you're looking at that.
That one?
The side camera.
That one?
That one. Yeah.
Not that one.
Turn your head, though.
That one?
No, other way.
That one.
Camera
Yeah,
one.
that's better.
Camera two. Camera one. Camera two.
That one.
That one.
All right. Welcome back to the Star Wars. Welcome back to the Star Wars One Way Out podcast. This is our second episode of our two-part series for ranking the Star Wars movies in order from worst to best. We're assigning point values to all of the Star Wars movies, with the worst being 0, the best being 11, and all of the numbers ranging in between. At the end, we're going to tally them up and see what, between the 4 generations here, which Star Wars movie comes out as the best or top 3, and then you're going to also compare your list as well. So let's get into it.
We are officially at the top 5.
Are we sniffing it, Angel?
Sniffing the top 5?
Yes.
All right, so our 5th favorite Star Wars movie.
I still don't remember what I put in order here.
3, 2, 1.
What did I put here?
New Hope.
New Hope. Man, see, we're on like the same wavelength when it comes to prequels. Revenge of the Sith. Sorry, original trilogy.
Revenge of the Sith.
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi. Yeah.
I'm actually shocked you put that at 5 a little bit. I would have thought
So-
it higher.
I actually really like that movie. So, the opening scene of Revenge of the Sith, when they're flying through.
Yeah, I love that scene.
Oh my god! I could watch that scene and walk away from the movie. That scene makes the movie for me, and then the rest of it is just icing on the cake. Because, you got to remember, as Angel's pointed out, I'm an old fart who grew up with the original trilogy. And,
Trilogy, bro.
Yeah, and for a while there, that's what I thought we had. And I figured I was going to die, and I have seen all of Star Wars. Now that's up in the air. Because they're still making more Star Wars.
One thing that ROTS does well is...
You said Rots.
Yeah, I was right.
Revenge of the Sith, Rots.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One thing it does
I
well
don't use those.
is it fits an extreme amount of content into one movie.
It does.
It does a good job at just fitting in and making it flow well.
Mm-hmm.
Fitting it, because in that movie, like Anakin and Obi-Wan, they're all separated for most of the movie, so they do a good job at fitting an extreme amount of content.
I think Anakin is starting to kind of come into his Jedi fruition at that point. His like Jedi adulthood. He's seen a lot of combat. He's seen a lot of war. He's less. I think Lucas kind of rebounded from the cringy Attack of the Clones Anakin a bit. Realized they needed to kind of course correct on the.
I know, because if he could act like that in Attack of the Clones, I would have had a chance with Padme. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean. And I'm just going to point out that, she was dressing like that and saying no. That's a mixed signal. I'm just saying. Anyway, Revenge of the Sith, it's, he is full Jedi. He is, doing his thing. He's less cringy than, I dream of you every night, And then they do such a good job with the rest of the story. I love the scene where he, rescues Obi-Wan in the top of the ship, and, Obi-Wan's like, well, another happy landing, and it takes us to a place that I always kind of knew some sort of happens, but I was really interested in seeing their execution of it, because back in the day, there was always talk of how did Vader, because we had nothing. Mm-hmm. How did Vader become Vader? And somebody somewhere along the lines had a conversation with Lucas where he sort of alluded to, what happens. And to see him actually put that to film was something I had been looking forward to for a very long time. I'm done.
Okay.
Was I the only one that had?
Only one with Return.
With Return.
Yeah.
Original Star Wars trilogy, phenomenal movie. The least powerful, though, the least of the movie. Being a fan of the original trilogy, I do understand. I don't agree, but I do understand why fans originally, it was too much comedy. After you came off of like Empire Strikes Back, and then you go.
I can see a giant stark difference there.
Yeah,
I can see people being like, man, like we just had that.
Yeah.
Now we go to this.
You know, so it but you know, we talked about it earlier, the Luke Vader fight, and not just the Luke Vader fight physically, the Vader saving Luke from the dark side. You know, people who that's how I see that movie now, and then Anakin fulfilling the prophecy of bringing balance to the Force by destroying the Sith, is just, you know, bravo to that movie, and it's top 5 for a reason. Great movie.
Yeah, I love the scene when Luke goes to Vader on Endor.
Yeah,
and they're talking in the hallway.
Like he
He
surrenders himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's even chilling when Luke they're trying to get onto the Force Moon of Endor, and Luke senses, he's like, I'm hurting the mission.
Yeah.
Like he feels Vader. Like he know, like he, you know, and obviously he was hurting the mission because Vader's like, let him pass. You know, Vader knew. You know, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had New Hope.
Yeah. I like I just like the story of it. Like I can imagine watching it for the first time and just being like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like it's the first one. It's the first Star Wars movie. I feel like I couldn't put it anywhere.
Could you imagine the lightsabers for the first time? Like how cool that would have felt to go see that, and you see the lightsabers, especially the Vader Obi-Wan fight. Like you imagine seeing that for the first time.
Because like you said, nothing in sci-fi had been done like that before.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, like you could have a sword that has plasma at the end. That's amazing.
There were mass conversations in school about what was that. And everyone was like, oh, it's laser, oh, it's plasma, it's this, it's that.
Go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no, you're fine. I also like, I think the acting is good in the movie. And I think the original trilogy does a decent job with the acting. I don't think they can't pinpoint anyone in there or out that was bad. But, again, visuals for the time were really good, too. That was the whole reason Star Wars kept going, was just the visuals for its time and the sci-fi theme. And I just, it felt weird not putting it up in the top 5, not being a first Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
And I do like the, I don't know, it feels, it's a movie that I could watch that I feel like I'm, it's almost peaceful. Like it's almost just, it's just a nice movie. I know it's an original, and it was almost like watching Lord of the Rings for the first time. Like it was just, I feel the same way about that movie.
So with A New Hope, so obviously it's my number 5, so it's in my top 5. You develop so much of the baseline of Star Wars because like that constantly gets called back to. So how's the movie open up? It opens up with some type of Imperial Star Destroyer like chasing, or like just like that over looming sense of the Empire, and like they're powerful, the rebels are on the run, like the Empire is like overbearing. So like we constantly use that trope for the rest of Star Wars, where they're just this powerful being. I do think that, and this is a personal take, and I think I've mentioned it before, I do think that Vader has become more vicious as time has gone on. I thought he was a little campy almost in the first movie, like just the way he talks. But then again, I think maybe I think it had to deal with the times. I think back then, and Greg, maybe you and Paul can allude to this, like was Vader really scary back then?
Yeah, I mean, when he starts choking people out in a conference room, I'd say it's pretty scary.
Yeah, see, I grew up with dinosaurs just chewing off guys apart.
No, Vader was terrifying.
Yeah.
As a child.
Like I think Vader is terrifying now. Like, and Vader is my probably my, yet again, like how I said, Obi-Wan's in my top 3. Vader's in my top 3.
He was definitely super terrifying in the Shadow Lord.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that Vader has become this crazy, evil, looming, fearful being. But if I go back and watch the original trilogy, I don't get that same emotion that maybe someone who watched it initially would, which is why like New Hope like doesn't feel the same. Can you speak?
No.
I didn't know Vader had neck beard.
Yeah, you don't want to know what I was gonna say.
Smells like burnt leathery bacon in there. Sorry. Yeah, no. So this is actually a costume piece that my mother bought for me in 1994.
Seriously.
Yes, and it has been on top of my Christmas tree every year.
Can you see out of that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, but yeah.
Okay, so those are clear lenses.
Yeah, those are clear lenses. Yeah, so that I actually
you can't see in.
right. I actually dressed up as Vader for Halloween several years in a row because I had that helmet and being a tall child, it worked quite well. But yeah, that's actually a vintage of licensed Vader thing, and that's how terrifying I thought he was.
Remind me, is this the only film that Grand Moff Tarkin's in?
Yes. Well, other than Rogue One.
And that's my point. So you have the creation of iconic characters such as Grand Moff Tarkin, where like he's in there, like he's basically just a head Imperial, but yeah, like he gets destroyed on the first Death Star, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but then you get like him like in the Clone Wars and him in the Bad Batch and him in Rogue One, and he's like a great Imperial villain. Like he's like the Imperial.
Does he make it into Rebels at all too? I don't remember. He's in Rebels.
Yes, he is in Rebels.
Yeah, I one thing I always used to say, and I know they touched base on a little bit. I would have liked
He goes to Lothal.
I would have liked to see a little bit more of like Vader did whatever Tarkin told him.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like that says a lot. So like I would have liked to see more. I'd like to someday see more of that relationship. Why does Vader
Actually listen to
actually listen to Tarkin so
I think
well?
they're like they have a lot of comics on that.
Okay.
'Cause I think obviously Tarkin is one of those people that knows that
Who he
Anakin was
is.
Vader, and they have the relationship in the Clone Wars. Like they know each other, like
Yeah.
from the Citadel. Like he saves him, and like Anakin at the time admires like his look, and Tarkin like respects Anakin as a Jedi. He's like one of the only Jedi he actually respects
Yeah.
because of the way he like basically I'll do what it takes to get things done.
So would you say it's the relationship isn't so much he listens to him because he's the boss, but he listens to him because he respects him?
Well, I wouldn't say that Anakin and Vader are the same person. So I think that's what Paul is probably getting at. Like Anakin respected Tarkin as a military leader because he was effective. He got stuff done. He saw the bigger picture.
Mm-hmm.
And you actually see Anakin agree with him on a lot of things. Like even like the trial for like the Jedi Temple bombing, like Anakin agrees with Tarkin on that until Ahsoka gets involved. But Vader and Anakin aren't the same person, so you can't necessarily say that Vader would react the same way to Tarkin. That's hard to say. You would have to probably read the comics or something, which I'm not.
Okay.
But regardless, New Hope's a great film. Yeah, I wish there was more of a modern take on it, but there's not.
All right. So we're gonna move on to top 4. Number 4. 3, 2, 1.
What the hell,
You
Angel?
kiss your mother with those lips?
I knew this was gonna get you.
Good
I
thing you drove
knew
yourself.
this was gonna get you.
Good thing my son is not driving home with you.
How dare you both? Did you have your Mandalorian Grogu?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, that made it to your 4.
In further news, One Way Out podcast is canceled.
Did I not tell you that I was literally scared putting this together?
It's now just hosted by Paul and Greg.
So, Revenge of the Sith is what I had.
Okay.
By far the best prequel movie. It definitely, in my opinion, for a lot of fans, it saved Star Wars in the prequel era of Star Wars, because a lot of fans were super disappointed with Episode 1 and then even more disappointed with Episode 2. To have Revenge of the Sith come out and actually have cool fight scenes, cool music, it was like the total package. You know, there's obviously some things I could pick apart. Like we talked about earlier. I would have loved to I love General Grievous, but I could have probably did without Grievous and just had Dooku be the main villain in the whole movie.
I kind of questioned the duality of having two characters on that level.
Yeah, I also was originally. I'm more so now with the Clone Wars. I originally was not a fan. I did not think we needed another lightsaber wielding character. I think he could have just been a cool, gun rolling around with his 4 arms with guns and stuff like that, than having to do the whole lightsaber thing.
Or laser whips.
Laser whips. But Revenge of the Sith made my top 5 and top 4. I definitely would say, other than the original trilogy, there's no other Star Wars movie that I've watched more than Revenge of the Sith. I've seen it, I think, 10 times in theaters when it came out, and that was with having a bootleg disc before I wouldn't even watch it, and I had that bootleg disc, and I still seen it 10 times in theaters. So
I watched the bootleg disc. I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry.
But yeah, but we talked pretty much already pretty strongly on Revenge of the Sith. I know it hasn't been up for everybody yet, but good movie. The best acting, I thought, of the 3 prequel movies.
100%.
Oh, yeah,
you can't argue that at all.
Definitely agree with that.
Like Greg said, the beginning when they fly in there, even the whole Buzz Droid thing where Anakin and Obi-Wan and R2 saving the day, and it was
phenomenal.
Yeah. It was a good movie. Yeah, obviously Mace Windu's still alive, and
he is.
He is.
He is. I didn't see a body, and they don't kill people.
You still have to listen to if you haven't. These clones are low.
Yeah.
He's still alive, mother funker.
Yeah.
That's how they say it.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's me.
I want to go.
Go ahead. Go.
I really, really want to talk about this.
I'm not even gonna respond to anything you say. I'm just like
You're gonna respond to the very first thing I say. What is the biggest and best thing about Empire? If you had to think of one thing.
The reveal of Darth Vader being Anakin Skywalker.
Correct. So if you didn't know that, I think Empire is automatically a number 1 for every list.
But how do you...
Period, exclamation point, that's it.
So what you're saying is because you've already seen it.
Since you weren't born in 1981.
I'm saying that... Think about it. I already knew going into Star Wars, like that reveal was ruined. I didn't have a reveal. Because I already knew that Anakin was going to be Darth Vader. And that's the biggest... That's one of the craziest moments in cinema history. Is that reveal. That's like the creme de la creme of that movie. So if you rob me of that cream of the crop of the movie, I still have a really good Star Wars movie, but I don't have that... like the thing that makes you feel...
That's not true! That's impossible!
So, that is why I can't put Empire at the top, because I don't...
Search your feelings, Angel.
When
you know that position is wrong.
When you see the movie, do you get a reaction every time you see that scene?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Does it give
that
you...
movie
chills
makes me
every
feel
time.
a certain way.
You get chills every single time?
Every single time.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it gives me chills every time. There's other parts of that movie that are just so unbelievable to me that they make me feel a certain way when I watch that.
See, and the thing is, if you force us to pick one moment in that movie, yeah, we're gonna pick that. But the reality is that movie is
lightsaber battle is still one of the best in Star Wars history.
I agree.
There's all the time on Dagobah. There's all the Hoth, Kolth stuff.
But yet again, like when you're watching for the first time, you have the introduction of Yoda, this mysterious character that you've never seen before. You've never heard of Yoda before. And now, it's this little green guy. Oh, he's this crazy, awesome Jedi Master. He lifts this X-Wing out of the swamp, and that's impossible. How are you doing that? And it's amazing to Luke.
That is why you failed.
So, yet again, iconic scenes that are dampened for people who didn't get to experience.
I understand. I 100% understand what you're saying. It was almost like when the dude I worked with ruined that Darth Vader was a Maul Shadow Lord
100%.
before I saw it.
100%.
Because we expected one of these key characters, but we didn't know which key character. I remember we argued: was it the Emperor? Was it the Inquisitor? Was it Mrs. Lawson?
Yes,
we didn't know.
I was gonna high five.
Now our show's canceled.
Hashtag save Mrs. Lawson.
So, Empire is a fantastic movie. The battle on Hoth in the beginning is
so good.
That's super iconic. Like what's cooler than a rebel in a snow garb or snow troopers or AT-ATs?
Yeah, not even that. The whole beginning sequence of Empire with, Luke getting attacked by the Wampa and Han saving him and
cool.
Not giving up. He didn't give up.
I'll see you in hell.
And it was cool too because Mark Hamill was actually in a severe car accident where they thought he could have died in, and his face was all messed up, and that's why they did that scene with the Wampa to because his face got all messed up, But
yeah, and it's actually really cool because as a kid watching that for the first time or the first couple times when it really started to kind of click and make sense, because I was watching it before any of it made sense. He was Darth Vader for me for a while, but I thought as a kid that it was makeup because I hadn't heard that the story about Mark Hamill wasn't widely public and there wasn't Facebook or the internet in the early 80s, and I was just like, why does he look different in Empire? I mean, they did have him get attacked by a Wampa. And it just, it didn't dawn on me that something happened in real life and they would adjust the script to account for that.
Which is a pretty cool thing.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
And then when I found that out, I'd go back and watch it and be like, you know what? They really, have him covered up a little bit before the Wampa attack and you can't quite really see it. And then when he comes out of the back of the tank and you see all the scars on his face, I always thought that was makeup and that was just part of the movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna save my rest of my Empire discussion for when I pull it up.
You really like the brother and sister kissing scene.
Yeah,
that's why it's number one.
Damn.
But no, like I said, it's a fantastic movie through and through. I do love it. Like you said, the great lightsaber battles. I wish that I could. Yet again, that's another thing. I wish I could go back in time and experience that for the first time because there's no way that it wouldn't be number one, but it can't be.
If anybody knows any Men in Black, please flashy thing the angel, please.
Even like Boba Fett and the bounty hunters and stuff. Like you got to think about it. My first experience with Boba Fett and Jango Fett even is playing Battlefront. Actually, Boba Fett was my favorite hero character when you got to use it was villains and I can't remember what the game mode was. It was villains and something, but I got to Boba Fett was my guy. That's who I used. And then so the Boba Fett this new character, oh he's so cool, this giant elusiveness of him and the bounty hunters, that kind of was all soiled for me as well.
Yeah.
So it's still a fantastic movie, but I don't have that gut.
You don't have the attachment to that reveal.
That
what you're
gut
saying.
Punching chills factor when I see the movie. It's a good movie, but I don't get the same reactions emotionally.
Right.
Did we get Logan on any?
No. We just did us.
Yeah. What were you in that movie?
Oh my god! At this point, I forget.
You're not Empire.
Logan's Mandalorian or Grogu, and you are Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah, Return of the Jedi. I loved Return of the Jedi because it was the win for the Rebels. Everything, it was fun. I know we touched on people not liking the Ewoks. I love the Ewoks. I love the fact that they were about to, have barbecue rebels, and C-3PO, and Luke did his thing and made them think C-3PO was a god. It was just and we as a kid we would go to the arcade and there was that the Flight Through Endor game.
Return of the Jedi game. It's amazing.
Yeah. And you get on the thing. It was like a physical speeder, and you get on it, and it had
that's not the same game.
It had the 4-bit forest, and you would move the thing back and forth to not hit the trees, and it was fun, and it was Atari 2600 grade at best, but it was fun, and it was the race through the woods of Endor on a speeder, and that was the whole game.
I actually do like that scene with C-3PO as they treat him like a god, because it's like it's what Luke is probably was the best option.
Yeah, but not only that, I mean, believe it or not, I mean, that was super realistic.
Yeah.
Like, you have a bunch of, like, natives who would have, haven't experienced guns and haven't experienced these things. Then you have this droid, and they don't I mean, that would be the one the gold character, like.
Which is awesome, because it's not the last time that he's worshipped as a god.
Yeah.
It happens in the Clone Wars.
Well, I mean, I've heard people often say that technology misunderstood is often misconstrued as magic.
Yeah.
So it was a shining example of that. Just to, again, that has that top level for me, because obviously, I'm a OG bro, and it's the win for the rebels. It's they've been fighting so hard, everything they went through during Empire and all that. This is the win.
Logan, Mandalorian, Grogu.
Yeah, so like to me, this was the first Star Wars movie I've seen. Like, I except for after, like, prior to the movie, I was probably the most into Star Wars as I've been ever.
Yeah, so you're saying you went into this right at when you're like your peak interest in Star Wars.
Well, yeah,
Like, this is the first one you're like going into, and you're like, I'm into Star Wars. I can't wait for this movie to come out.
Like, the other three, I liked, obviously, like Star Wars, but I was just a kid. Like, I didn't, the story was nothing, like, crazy to me. I just liked the characters, and the characters were awesome. And, again, that's what started, that's why I have a special place in my heart for the sequels, because they did introduce me to Star Wars. But I really kind of grew up with the shows, the live-action shows. Like, they were growing on me as I was growing. So going to see, like, a movie based off of the live-action show, the big live-action show, The Mandalorian, like, that was really cool. And I think that, like, going into it, my hopes were high. And they were a little crushed after I watched the movie. But after I watched the movie, and days and weeks after I watched the movie, my feelings for the movie only got better because of how many people that did like the movie and are sharing things about it. Like, it did not add a whole lot to Star Wars or The Mandalorian, but it was just so much fun to watch. It was, like, just so cool to see. I liked seeing like, I liked the part where like, Mando is down, so Grogu is living his life. Like, you do get, I wish they touched on that a little more. I wish they touched on his independence a little more.
That's why they gave him a stick to walk around with.
Yeah, I know. I thought that was cool. And he built his hut too around him. I like that a lot. I wish they touched on it more. I wish the movie did lead to somewhere like, okay, we're starting to see Grogu not really depend on Din Djarin anymore. I wish the movie touched on that more. I do. But I just had so much fun watching the movie, and I'm sure when I go back again, I'm going to love it even more. I couldn't put it anywhere lower. It was just the feel of it. Also, I like how much they used droids and how much they used aliens in the movie. A lot. I liked how in they're not twins, right? The other
the Hutts?
They aren't the Hutts.
Yeah, they're called the twins. Yeah.
Okay, I thought they were like okay, I guess sisters or brothers makes sense, but I liked how their area was like you saw, like, battle droids, like, reprogrammed probably, but like you saw
the droid Gatra, I think is what that was called.
Yeah.
Right, droid Gatra.
I loved that whole planet too. I like the Inzellans, I like Grogu. The whole movie was just such a nice feel.
Creatures, we talked about that, talking about the Mandalorian episodes. Creatures, like, I felt like the TV series sometimes were lacking other races other than humans. So it was nice to see a lot of other Star Wars creatures in the Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
Spoiler alert: if you haven't seen the Mandalorian TV show yet, one, you're really far behind. But two, if you want to not watch the arachnid part, skip season 2, episode 2, as I do every time.
Oh my god!
You've never fully seen that episode.
No. So here's what happened.
I heard what happened.
Yeah. So here's what happened. So they crash down into the ice.
Are you a Weasley?
When it comes to that, yeah.
Okay.
So they actually, I was just thinking about it in my head, and I got like really creepy
my
crawly.
God.
So, they fall down into the ice, and like you see them start walking up, and like I see like all these like little pods, and I'm like, no, they better not. This better not be. And then you see the pod shaking, and I was sitting with Alicia. I was like, nope, I can't. I'm walking,
I remember.
walking into the next room. I was like, I know what those are gonna be. And she's like, and I was like, let me know when it happens. She's
I
like,
remember when that came out. You didn't watch it the first night for whatever reason, and I remember I think I was talking to Alicia. I'm like, he is not gonna like this episode. I'm telling you right now, he is not gonna like this episode.
so needless to say, I went to the next room, and she like. And I was like, she's like, oh yeah, it's a good choice that you're standing over there because like this is bad. So yes, there is basically half of an episode, which sucks because the episode starts out awesome. Like
It's a good
Do
episode.
you want me to come over and hold your hand and we
nope,
can watch it?
Paul, I would not. I can't physically look at
You
it.
can be the middle spoon.
If I actually watched that, I wouldn't be the same man I am today.
Oh no.
I wouldn't be the same man I am today.
I do like that episode. You should watch it.
Nope. The first half's great.
I like the frog lady.
Hey, you know what? She's in the next episode too.
Why don't I'll go in and AI them into something else.
Unicorn.
Listen, Paul, I've played video games too on arachnophobia mode. The only one that I've ever been able to get past is when instead of it being a spider or eyes, it was the word arachnophobia. And that's what the spider was. The spider was the word when you turn
Angel
on
doesn't like
arachnophobia
snakes
mode.
either.
No, snakes are okay.
I thought you hated snakes.
No, just spiders.
Just spiders.
And I hate bugs. Bugs suck.
It's interesting.
Like this fly keeps landing on my face down here while we're doing this.
Yeah, like it's like bugs are
Great
annoying.
guys.
Alright.
Roast.
I'm excited to move on because we're getting to the top
Yeah.
3 here.
I think I'm all good.
Yeah, top 3.
So, third favorite Star Wars movie of all time.
Here we
3,
go.
2, 1.
All right, so
What do
there's
you have, Greg? A New Hope. I have A New Hope.
New Hope.
I kind of
Empire.
forgot you didn't use episode 1 yet.
Yeah, so
Episode 1. That's
Uh-huh.
interesting.
So every argument that I'll go first. Every argument that you guys have made against our episode 1 so far,
Are your arguments for it? No, he completely disagrees with that.
I completely disagree. So one thing you guys kept repeating was like the pod racing scene, like being long and drawn out, like showing all the laps, like just them on Tatooine and stuff. I love all of it. Like, so the pod racing, because you got to think this is also like this is my first Star Wars movie. The pod racing scene, I love. Just like the different interactions, like with the aliens, like it brings me right back to playing my N64 game. I like that you get to see like all these characters that later get reintroduced. Like you're flying through the canyon and you have Aura Singh like is standing up on like the edge, and like she ends up being a bounty hunter later on, and like you get Watto as like Anakin's slave master, and it's like, no, they won't. So,
did you see that the Star Wars Racer game coming out? Sebulba is one of the main characters.
Oh my
which
God.
Sebulba is awesome. Like the fact that like Jar Jar fucks with him and like he gets pissed off.
Yeah.
Thanks, Angel.
The fact that Jar Jar messes with Sebulba and Sebulba comes back at him and like there's like this like little crime fight thing. Like I love episode 1. I think even like the Gungan scenes. Like I said, for me, this is my first introduction into Star Wars. Like going back and watching it now, like because obviously Alicia and I are watching through Star Wars. When they first introduce Jar Jar and he's like running towards Qui-Gon, like that first like interaction between Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Jar Jar, that's like peak annoyance of Jar Jar to me. The rest of the movie, I'm okay with him though. But it's that part, like, and that's when the CGI is obviously the worst with Jar Jar as well, when he's running through the forest and, like, standing there in front of both of them.
Yeah.
That's when it's at its worst. But he's super annoying there. I'm good with him for the rest of the film. I like the whole Padme being the queen, but also, like, the sidekick, so that way there's
Don't you think it's kind of weird? Like, it's almost as strange as, like, your name is Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you change your first name to Ben, but your last name stays the same. Don't you think it's kind of weird that her name is Queen Amidala, but no one knows that this Padme is like her? Like, don't you think it's like kind of? It's almost like the Obi-Wan like weirdness, you know? What I
She's
mean?
hiding with her first name.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
It's like the Superman glasses theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll look up her first name and they'll see Well, sure.
Yeah.
Didn't they do that with like a? Didn't they do? They could have done it to find the I can't remember his name, but the guy at the side turret in Mandalorian. They'll do his name to find him so they can go extract the information where Grogu is.
Yeah.
They could have done that. I guess that was later on though. So.
But
maybe the technology wasn't as good.
so there's really not a part of episode 1 that I don't like. I think it starts great. I like that they're on the ship, and like you get the droidekas and you get the introduction of Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan as like they're supposed to be there as ambassadors, but they're really not Jedi. They're here to save the day. I love the Nemoidians. I love how horrible like their acting is so like sort of cheesy, but like you also like you quote it like all the time like they're no match for droidekas. Like it's just so.
Well,
many...
it's just weird. It's always weird with the Nemoidians, so their mouths never move.
Yeah,
properly
it's never
at all
right.
with
It's
their-
never correct.
Well, you know,
words.
another interesting point about the movie, I just actually had to look it up while the camera was on you. Keira Knightley was one of Padme's handmaidens, and she gets
Seriously?
zero credit, zero credit ever for being in that movie.
Yeah, she was. What I think her name is actually Sabe, is her character's name. She was most of the time Queen Amidala was Queen Amidala. It was her.
Yeah.
Which now that you say that, I can 100% see it. I 100% see it now.
I was having a major brain fart and I couldn't remember Keira Knightley's name, but I was like, I know, I could see the face. It's the Pirates of the Caribbean girl. So I just had to Google it real quick. But that's just like one of those things that when I found out, I was like,
Yeah.
huh.
I love that it's the first time that you're seeing Sidious to interact before like the Empire, and like you can see how he's already starting to turn the gears and the arms of like the Separatist and the Republic. Like you get to see like that. You get to see him take over as like go from senator to no, that's in the second movie. I was gonna say you get to see him go from
You
senator.
get to see him as a senator.
Yes, you get to see him as a senator, not go to chancellor yet. That's in the
I
second
do
movie.
love one scene I absolutely love is when the Nemoidians are walking with the hologram of the Emperor.
That's what I'm
It's on
talking
that,
about.
Like, spider
Yep.
carrying thing. That's awesome scene.
And then whenever they introduce Maul in the background, he's just standing there and they're like, now there's two of them.
Yeah.
I think Phantom Menace is a great movie from start to finish, it's one of the best finishing sequences in Star Wars. The moment that they open that hangar door and Maul is there.
Oh, so good.
One thing we didn't talk about that actually a lot of people hated about episode 1 that I actually liked. I love the peace parade at the end.
At the end,
You know, because like they did.
it's a callback to the fourth. It's callback to New Hope.
But they also with the whole like you know basically the relationship that the Gungans didn't like the Nabooians. You know.
Does a Nabooians or however he does it?
We no care about that Naboo.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many fun characters. It's a great movie.
Like I said, it is a great movie. It's just
I can understand why it's not as high on some other people's lists.
this movie is this high on your list, like you thought Force Awakens was going to be on Logan's.
Correct. Like that's why Phantom Menace takes such a high spot, because it was my first real Star Wars movie. Qui-Gon's one of my favorite characters. Obi-Wan is one of my favorite characters. Darth Maul is one of my favorite characters. Like they're all convincing. The space scene is a little but even like the droid like main battleship and like like that's really cool. Like, and then like how like they kind of go from like one-minded droids and they eventually change, but like that's what you get to see them as one-minded droids. Like so you can blow up one thing, shut down a whole army. There's so many iconic
they
things
obviously
in the movie.
figured that one out after the first movie.
Yep, but you had to have like that fatal flaw for you to be able to figure out the rest.
Otherwise, there would have been lots of dead Gungans, right, Paul?
Don't get me started. Should have been at least one dead Gungan.
Which one?
I don't care which one. I'm saying there should have been one.
Any of them. Just pick one.
So it's one of those movies I have a couple quirks about, but I love the movie. John Williams, thank you for Duel of Fates.
Yeah.
Yes, very for sure.
Yeah, I put Empire Strikes Back, right? Yeah. So,
Yes.
okay. It's just, it's the best of the original trilogy. It does. You guys kind of did pretty well explaining it.
Correct.
It's iconic. It's good. It has one of the best fight scenes. on Hoth, like ships fight scenes. I think that's just cool because it's like you're seeing like ships and like I don't want to say tank because that's not really what an AT-AT is, but I guess it is a tank. You're seeing the ways that they're taking it down. Like they're big, they're hard to take down. They realize they can use the cords on the back of their ship.
What a cool thing.
I know.
That movie. Like this giant freaking long-legged turtle. How are we gonna take this thing down? We're gonna wrap its legs up and make it trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean in Empire too, and the whole when Luke destroys the one AT-AT himself, like it's pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian gave us the inside of an AT-AT though. I wondered that my entire life, and we got to finally see the inside of an
I
AT-AT.
definitely was very happy to see the inside of it.
I love it when he goes up to the AT-AT, like when he shoots out, like because he like uses like something like grappling hook.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I like the way his body looks when it gets lifted off. It looks like it's a like a straw dummy, and it's like pulls him off the ground.
Still practical effect.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but like, you can appreciate its practical effect, but like it looked like a dummy getting pulled off the ground, which was it's funny.
Yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention was just the action in the first one, and Mandalorian Grogu was so amazing. I felt like it was jumpy in the first half of the movie, like very like we didn't really stay in one planet or one spot at one time, like gather some information about like characters. Then the second half it like sold it for me. Like second half I thought was a much better part of the movie, but we're not talking about that. But yeah, Empire Strikes Back. I can't see it being anywhere on my list that isn't in the top 3. I just can't. It's an original. It's kind of like A New Hope. Like I can't rank A New Hope low. It's the first one. Like they're just good movies.
They're fun.
I know. You would say that.
I would say that.
I think
That's the whole point.
Well, no, I
The
understand.
point of all of this is to have fun, right?
What was yours? I can't even remember.
Theirs was A New Hope.
Both of ours were New Hope.
Yeah. Are we ready for number 2?
You guys want to talk about New Hope, or you guys want to move on?
I'll talk about New Hope. One thing about New Hope that for me makes it such an incredible movie is the first act. Not just with Obi-Wan and Luke, but I'm saying when we Tatooine in general, Mos Eisley Cantina. Like, could you imagine being there as a kid and you're seeing all these different aliens and creatures, and then you have the badass Han Solo there. Like, you already knew instantly, like the first time you seen him, that you are not gonna mess with this dude. You're not gonna mess with this guy at all.
Yeah, he comes across as just stone cold.
He the first interaction with Han Solo is talks his way through everything. Like he it's just like he was in the sequel trilogy. He always talks himself like, oh, you're not gonna talk your way out of this. Well, yes, he is.
He's charismatic.
He is going to talk his way out of this. And it's just the whole all the Tatooine stuff in general in A New Hope. The sand troopers on the dewbacks, all that stuff is just awesome.
So the sand troopers on the dewbacks were not in the original version. So I actually, when I went to the theater to watch the special edition one and saw them for the first time, I thought that was an amazing addition. I really, I have to say, enjoyed all of the, because I was at a point where...
I'm sorry to burst your bubble, they 100% are in the original.
Are they?
Yeah. There's original Star Wars toys of dewbacks, and they are 100% in it. They just added, they were more of a background thing, they just added more of the walking dewbacks with the troopers on with the special edition.
The digital ones were not in it. I'm telling you.
No, the digital ones weren't, but
there was in other versions, but they had more of them in certain scenes where they weren't originally in.
Yeah, they added some for the special edition,
and then
just like they did with the Banthas.
Right, but there were also some scenes that they had originally shot and they took out for time or whatever, that they put back in, and then they enhanced them as well. So there was original...
Like the Jabba and Han Solo.
Yeah.
Which is, it's the exact scene. They just CGI'd a slug instead of the white dude,
right?
Fat dude that was supposed to be there.
Yeah, it was just a fat guy, and he walks behind him, and that was before they did...
And they made it was so obvious too when they showed him you stepping on the tail, because the body just weirdly just goes you could tell they cut the scene and just moved his body up in the
and then they make Jabba make this step on my tail face. But I thought when the special edition came out, the additions the cutaway from Ben Kenobi's hut and the extended scene of them driving the speeder
Into Tatooine, yeah, it was
into
awesome.
Mos Eisley.
That's where they almost hit the Ronto with the Jawa falls off.
It's like I absolutely thought that they did a fantastic job, with the enhancements for the.
You know what? One thing I want to go back to the Jabba scene real quick, and it actually made it so much better.
Yeah.
Like a line that they left in was,
"You're a wonderful human.
You're a wonderful human being." That's like that is like such an awesome line that like
they had the ability to change that.
Yeah, they just left it. It was like perfect. It was a perfect Han. It would have been a perfect Han Solo quote.
It turned from a slightly sarcastic thing to a straight up insult.
And we got a little bit more Boba Fett too.
Everybody needed more Boba Fett. They did a fantastic job. But one of the things you didn't touch on, I really liked all of the Death Star stuff when they got onto the Death Star. Obi-Wan sneaking around. I love that they had the two stormtroopers that were guarding the thing where he had to turn the thing off, and they're just sitting there bullshitting. It's your fault. They're just sitting there talking about the new model speeder that's coming out, and just like not a care in the world. And then they hear the alarm and they go, it must be a drill, and then he sneaks back, and it's just this old dude who is a Jedi and has a couple of tricks up his sleeve, but he's just like outwitting everybody. And then
experience,
and he reveals himself when he chooses to, and he chooses to sacrifice himself so they can get away.
One of my favorite scenes in A New Hope, hands down, is them rescuing Leia, and they're like stuck in that like detention block area, and the stuff Han's talking on the thing. Yeah, he's like, "I'm fine. We're all fine here. How are you?" And he's like he knows he messed up by like saying that. And he's like, "Who are you?" And he just shoots. He's like, "We have company."
Boring conversation anyway.
Yeah, and the classic. I mean, the trash compactor scene is like one of the most iconic things from A New Hope.
I've killed them all.
Yeah, but yeah, A New Hope.
That's.
I am super excited to see it for the 50th anniversary next year in its original format. No special effects or no special edition, no nothing. Just its original format. The original theatrical release for its 50th anniversary.
So one of my actual complaints about the original theatrical version, and this isn't so much a problem now in all the later editions that they put out, but the lightsaber effect was a little hokey.
Yeah, it was like almost like an aluminum foil wrapped thing that they held towards the light
and
to get it to shine.
And you'd get it at certain angles, and it would just look. It didn't look right.
It actually, they only realistically fixed how good the lightsabers looked when they did the Blu-ray. That's when the lightsabers looked like the ones in the new movies when they did the Blu-ray edition.
Because anytime, what's the deal with when Luke first lights his lightsaber, like in front of Ben Kenobi, in like the Tatooine house?
Yeah.
Like you ever notice like when he hits it, like does like a weird like flick thing with his wrist?
Well, they actually, what they did to like help animate ahead of time with the lightsabers going up or whatever, they had the like aluminum foil like thing, and they'd have like a blast of light like at it, so you had to lift up through that blast of light to make it look like it was.
Because it always looks like there's like a small cut there where it's like it's not on, and then.
Well, I think what they probably did is it probably was a slow motion thing that they sped up to make it look.
They also, I think, were doing a jump cut. They had him in the hold the pose, and then someone would come in and change the lightsaber.
Yeah.
And then they would start filming again. So it had the thing on it.
Mm-hmm. They just need to make real lightsabers, so you don't got to do it.
Obviously.
Yeah, but New Hope, 50th anniversary next year.
What's your top price point on a saber if they were real?
Oh man, I spent a lot of ridiculous money on stupid stuff, so I'd say probably like $50,000.
You'd spend $50,000 on a real lightsaber?
Dude, it's a real lightsaber.
First of all, I'm not arguing. I'm just making sure.
Do you know how many people I want to walk up to with a real lightsaber? I didn't say I'm gonna hit them. I'm just saying, how many people.
You're gonna show.
It's like saying how much would you pay to be able to force choke people? A lot, a lot.
I would pay more for Force Choking.
For than a lightsaber? I probably would too.
Heck yeah.
I probably would too. Like, especially if I could, like, Vader Force choke from across the galaxy, where, like, you're in charge now, Admiral Piet. Like, yeah, that would be...
My problem is it'd be like, I said no pickles on my cheeseburger.
I'd be like, oh, internet tough guy? Let's see where you're going to be tomorrow. You know. But yeah, so everyone go through that round. We're on number 2.
Number 2.
Now, before I reveal this...
Yeah, this is actually really interesting.
I do want to say that this answer, or this one here, just this past couple of days before we were talking about doing this, I flipped it 3 times. And this was a tough decision for me. And we all know why it's a tough decision, but let's just reveal.
For me, this was a very tough decision as well, and I also went back and forth multiple times.
Yeah, top 2 were incredibly tough, and this is going to be very hypocritical of me.
All right.
Ooh.
3, 2, 1.
Man.
This is so hypocritical of me. How many conversations have we had, and I said Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie.
I am
just because it's the best, it doesn't mean it's your favorite.
I'm actually kind of floored that you're not putting it at number 1.
I think it was my favorite,
yeah.
and I would always tell people
you just wanted to be different.
No, I the more I thought about it, I was like, it's the only Star Wars film that's a true tragedy, start to end.
Yeah.
It shows us our best version of war from a normal person's perspective, like what war would feel like in this universe. The characters are super interesting, every single one of them. There's not a character I hate.
Basinger, amazing.
Like, you get Krennic, and then the way they make him even better in Andor, like, Krennic is an amazing villain.
Like, when Krennic goes to Vader's castle, that's some of my favorite scenes.
Careful not to choke on your aspirations.
Yeah, I like that. That's so awesome.
So, yeah, I mean, Logan, why don't we let Logan talk? I mean, you picked Revenge of the Sith for your number 2, which I'm not surprised. I know you really like Revenge of the Sith, so.
Yeah. Well, obviously, that was the big one of the prequels. I'm actually kind of shocked that, well, maybe not, but I'm not shocked you put Revenge of the Sith as your favorite.
Who said that did?
Shh.
Logan is smart. You gotta watch yourself. He's been paying attention.
Well, I know he wouldn't have. He wouldn't have put Revenge of the Sith as not his favorite. I think I was paying attention.
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about yours.
Okay. So it's an amazing movie, and I think it really does save the prequels, like you said. And what you said about Kylo Ren turning to the good side is better, like, displayed than Anakin turning to the dark side. I can agree with you, but I don't think that.
Just tell him he's wrong, Logan. Tell him he's wrong.
Well, I think it's much closer than that. I think Anakin turning to the dark side is displayed it perfectly in Revenge of the Sith. I think him just, like, being far away from, like, he hasn't had the moment where he's far away from everybody until this movie, and that's when Sidious makes his chooses to strike and try and turn him to the dark side. And you see basically not necessarily him turning to the dark side, but you see the things that happen around him that make him more angry and make him turn eventually. But as to why it's not my favorite, I think Rogue One's better than that movie. I'm not gonna talk about Rogue One, but yeah,
we're gonna talk about Rogue One.
Well, yeah, I know you guys will. I love.
So we know what Logan's number 1 is.
If there was ever a movie that, like, maybe 2 years ago would have said, let's put on a Star Wars movie, I would have said Revenge of the Sith. Like, always would have said Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, one thing I will say, since, obviously we know Rogue One is in everyone's top 2.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
For the people out there, like, this is why I get so irritated with Star Wars fans. We talk about this all the time, and it's like, if you're a fan, you're a fan. If you're not, you're not. Like, but to say that, like, Disney era Star Wars has been so horrible.
Stupid
comment. Not only is Rogue One arguably the greatest Star Wars movie ever made, it's one of the, in my opinion, one of the greatest movies ever made. From the acting, the acting is unbelievable. The cast is unbelievable. The visuals,
The
unbelievable.
pace of the movie is so good.
Not only that, the new characters like Admiral Radisson and stuff, like these are amazing, amazing characters that were so. And I don't even say fun. It was so like I don't know if there's
compelling.
I don't know if there's a Star Wars movie where I was more felt like I was in it than that movie.
Yeah.
That's a great way of putting it.
Like
That's a fantastic.
like I'm there. I feel like I'm in the ship
Yes.
with them flying. I feel like I'm there on the beach with them as the Scarif is getting destroyed.
I can't get enough of the
By the
Battle of
Death Star.
Scarif. When it, in the Battlefront video game, what map am I going to pick? Scarif. Every time, all the time.
Just even the story, like the Empire would have it. This is believable. They have an archive. This is where they protect all their secrets. Like this stuff's believable, and it wasn't simple. Like, oh, we just go there and steal it. Like, how do we find it? Like the whole Jyn Erso.
We'll take the next chance and the next chance until the chance is
and
spent.
that speech was so good. Like they
Make 10 men feel like 100.
they all respected her. Like it got to the point, like even with Cassian, because he was like he changed who he was
For her.
For her, he didn't kill her father. For her,
and the thing is, they made that such a complex relationship between him and her, and it wasn't even romantic.
it didn't need to be romantic at
need
all.
to be, yeah.
It wasn't
And
romantic at all.
That's the thing about that relationship that I find so interesting, because you watch so many other movies and you take that main male character and that main female character, and what is it always? It's always a love interest type back and forth between them. This was entirely different. It was based on respect and mutual goals and, so much like just that mindset of where they were at through the whole thing. And, she changes his mind, and then they
Well, they change her mind first.
yeah.
Because she's like, doesn't matter if you don't look up. Like, I don't care if the Imperials rule the galaxy. It isn't until her father tells her that, hey, I planted a trap, like, the Empire's bad, we need to do something. And then she's like, I'm all on board.
Yeah, the movie, just talking about Rogue One gives me chills.
Mm-hmm,
It always goes back to the scene in Rogue One, though, where, like, Jyn is there with even, like, Mon Mothma and all these, like, rebellion leaders, and she's pleading her case, and she's doing a really good job. And Admiral Radisson is the only one that, like, is behind her.
Shit, at that point, I was ready to go to war with her.
Yeah, and, like,
Heck yeah.
and then the rebels, we can't risk losing all these people. We can't risk this or whatever. And she goes to leave, and Cassian sticks up for her, but like, we can't do it. And you hear Baze, well, how many you need? In the background, you see all these, and like that was like so awesome, because like they're rebels, and this is what they are. They are rebels. Just because there's a rebellion leader, that doesn't mean these rebels agree with these rebels. And it just.
And then I love K2's I'm with you, Jyn. Cassian said I had to go.
K2 is awesome.
Yeah, K2. Like I said, the movie, just even when they're in the streets with Cassian and Jyn, and you have the new like Imperial tanks
On Jeddah.
Yeah, and Jeddah alone.
Did you feel the tension the entire time you're there?
And Jeddah, and then cheer. You have cheer it with like
For that, you will have to pay.
Well, what does he say to Jyn when she walks by? I'll your fortune for your necklace or whatever.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Is he Jedi? No, he's just But anyway, it's
just a fool. Or,
the whole
wishful dreamer or something.
Yeah, the whole like I said, the whole like the way like they made even the Death Star cooler.
The Death Star was amazing.
I loved watching them bring the main gun, that satellite dish, in with Star Destroyers.
Or like they would tilt the Death Star. Like that was so cool watching the tilt. But I'm not even saying that. I'm talking about more on like Kyber crystals are powering the Death Star.
Oh, the Kyber. The guys when they're going to pick it up as once the tank gets destroyed.
Yeah, you always kind of gotta like wonder, like it's a planet killer. Where are they getting that much power from? Like it's just one of those things.
Well, it's once again you're basically.
It's not what they're bringing; it's what they're taking out.
But basically though, like it's the Jedi with the Kyber crystals and stuff. They had something there,
And they expand on that in Andor season 2 too.
I mean, they do now. Not only are they stealing kyber crystals or whatever, they're making parts for the Death Star. You know,
You Saw Gerrera.
Yeah.
Lies.
Porcullet.
Porcullet.
Well, one thing I did say, speaking about, I know we talked a lot about the Death Star, and I think I might have been Greg I had the conversation with, or it actually might have been Tommy. One thing that, like, Star Wars kind of erased and act like doesn't exist that I would like to, like, them to fix and do more, and maybe they did and maybe I'm missing it, was, like, the Geonosians started the Death Star plans.
Correct.
But there's, like, nothing after that. There's nothing after the Geonosians giving Dooku the plans, like, you know, because I feel like it kind of hurts Galen Erso's story a little bit because he was like the lead scientist on powering this and stuff like that.
There's a little bit in Rebels because like they go like they're outside of Geonosis. Geonosis at one point, and they have like all the construction material like surrounding Geonosis. But then the Rebels discover it, so then they end up getting rid of, like, they move it elsewhere, and then that's when they kill the population of Geonosis. Because then they go back onto Geonosis, and they're like, where, like, this place is supposed to be millions, billions of bugs here. There's, like, no one. What the heck's going on? Because that's where they were going to build it. They were building it outside of Geonosis at one point.
Well, yeah, I mean, and just because, in my mind, just because Galen Erso was one of the lead scientists on the project when we...
Project Stardust.
Yeah. You know, it doesn't mean that the Geonosians couldn't have been involved on some level.
Or were they not the creators, or were they just going to be the builders?
Yeah, they could have had a copy of the plans because they were supposed to be building it.
Yeah. Like I said, Rogue One, it's a pristine movie.
It's a masterpiece.
I love, like even simple things, like right when you first get introduced to Jyn, and she's in a prison, and it's just like water dropping her face. And like you can just tell what type of character she is right then and there. She angrily wipes the water away.
You know what's also crazy is they had so many amazing things for Rogue One. They took the scenes out and they ended up in Solo because the scenes were so amazing in Rogue One, like some Death Star or some Star Destroyer scenes. And
That's
stuff.
what the Kessel thing is, right?
Yeah, that when you see that Star Destroyer,
yeah.
that was a Rogue One scene because they were like they had so much for that movie. That's why it was so awesome when the people that helped with it originally came back into the Andor show because, like, I mean, we all, like, yes, it wouldn't have been the same if people lived, but it's like, man, we all want to see so much more with those characters. I would instantly watch a Baze and Chirrut show or movie.
100%. I'm actually kind of surprised they haven't made it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm really, really surprised they haven't made that show yet.
Yeah. Yeah, because I would be pumped. Like I'd be like, oh man, this is gonna be great.
Well, it's because all the characters in the movie alone are amazing. Like they already touched on that, but like there are just amazing, well written characters with.
And the best thing is like you get them for just a short amount of time, and look how compelling they were.
Yeah, and it makes the ending so much more like heartfelt because they all die, but like that's the reason. The ending is so sad because they were such good characters.
Rebel sacrifice.
Tell me it ain't the saddest part of the movie though. With Baze after Chirrut dies, I am one with the Force and the Force like that, like because not only he's upset about his friend, but he is now believing in a higher power that he didn't believe in before.
Yeah.
I think
he did at one point, but he was just kind of.
He was like, well, he's a fool. He talks about him being a fool, and
he was once one of the greatest temple gods of I can't remember what he says about him, but he basically says that he lost his faith.
But that whole scene of him just walking out there, like he knows he's at least going out on his terms, and
Death Troopers are so
cool.
Oh God, they're amazing.
Yeah,
that's why there's a Death Trooper. That's my background on my phone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Krennic and the Death Troopers were both very awesome Imperial additions, and the
I like the short.
What is it? The TIE Hunter? Is that the name of the TIE?
Yeah, you're talking. Yeah, it's the one that's flying on Scarif. Yeah,
yeah, because
it's Hunter. Yes,
they touch base in Andor. That's the ship that's the TIE fighter he's stealing in Andor, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the first season of Andor.
Is it? Okay.
Or is it the second season of Andor?
Second season, the first episode. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so
he can't fly because everything's backwards.
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, Rogue One, like I said, talk about something I cannot pull a single negative thing out of at all.
I can.
What's that?
You only got one movie.
Yeah, only one movie.
But they didn't make it a trilogy.
Yeah.
They could have done a lot more. I mean, not a lot. They not that they screwed anything up. I just wanted more of it.
Yeah.
They did such a good job of making the characters all compelling.
That's why they gave you Andor.
Yeah,
And that's what,
that is actually,
dude. And that's another thing. Talk about Star Wars fans sucking sometimes. Like they bash. Like how do you bash Andor? Like we literally have a show that it's all about the imperial politics.
and it's the spy stuff,
and that's why people hate it, because people love to hate on like, oh, Star Wars politics is dumb. So I actually think it's super intriguing. It's some of my favorite things in Star Wars is learning about the corruption and the politics and the dirty tricks they play and stuff. It's so intriguing.
Yeah.
Like even just in Rogue One, like between Krennic and Grand Moff Tarkin, like that, like control and vying for power, and it's like, I'll tell Lord Vader and the Emperor that I'm going to be taking control of the project I spoke long ago immediately.
Yeah.
We stand here amidst my achievements, not yours.
It's also amazing. I think Logan and I actually talked about this yesterday. Was like the Vader sequence at the end wasn't even in the movie until like a couple months before it came out. They were like, man, we just feel like we need a little bit something else. And it's like, and you didn't think, I mean, like, that wasn't going to be in the movie. Them actually handing the plans off to each other and stuff like that. Like that.
It's the best Vader sequence.
Like, we just spent like 10 minutes talking about Rogue One and didn't even mention that
didn't
scene.
even mention the most...
Yeah, when Vader holds the guy on the ceiling and then finally walks by and slices him.
Like,
well, you also see, like, you know, in the conference room, he's, like, just holding his hand out, and then when they're, like, to force choke him, and he force chokes the rebel, he, like grasps his hand, like, he's, like...
But it also shows that scene. What was awesome about that scene with Vader is it just showed pure power.
Yeah.
Pure power. Like he went in there like it was nothing for him to maul through all them troopers shooting at him and stuff like that.
I love when they like you hear his breath first before you.
Like, and there's like that little bit of black smoke too.
I remember, and it gives me chills. I remember seeing that opening night and the crowd going absolutely crazy when that breathing started and that lightsaber.
Fun fact about that scene. When they were shooting the scene, they originally had one of the the lightsaber was lighting up. The red lightsaber was a practical effect, but it was so bright that it blew the cameras out, and they actually had to go back and do it digitally after the fact, and they had to light the scene without the lightsaber because the lightsaber was so bright that the scene didn't work.
Yeah, and it's sad to think that Admiral Radisson probably reached his end there. We don't know that, but I thought his character was so cool. I just, for a Mon Calamari character, I thought he was so cool.
Yeah.
Bring up a hammerhead Corvette.
And that scene,
I have an idea.
And that was so epic in Star Wars to destroy the shields.
Well, did you realize like that hammerhead Corvette? Those guys crashed into the Star Destroyer. The other Star Destroyer crashed into the other Star Destroyer, and their hammerhead Corvette keeps going down with it. Yeah. I think that entire ship of guys sacrifice themselves to make sure that they get those plans transmitted.
Imagine how terrifying that'd be. You're in the other Star Destroyer, you see...
Man, I'm just the janitor.
Yeah, it's like about to hit you.
But it's awesome watching that you see like...
It's full power!
You see like the officers and stuff on the deck when they get... They all like fall over and stuff as they get rammed.
And then they crash down into the shield. It's so cool. Like any action they did in that movie, I bet they thought like, how can we make this like 10 times just cooler? Like,
and speaking of cooler, I mean, bringing in all that original Star Wars footage for pilots... to make them...
Where you going, Red 5?
Yeah, Red 5. We see the original Red 5 that Luke takes over.
I'm Red 5. I need help.
But I'm just saying, I mean, that was such a celebration for the original Star Wars and stuff too by doing that.
This is Gold Leader.
Yeah. Yeah, that was...
One thing, not a lot of people realize this, but if you actually watch the space battle... all the different shots that they do of the space battle, it actually stays consistent with what's going on in the other scenes. So, like, you have, like when it starts, like, the one thing I'm thinking about is, like, when they do that close-up shot behind the X-Wings as they're getting ready to dive in, if you look with what was ahead before, it's the same thing that's still ahead before. Like, they keep the space battle stays consistent, like, in time and space to where they're cutting to the different areas. Like, they're not like... oh, okay, that ship shouldn't be over there. It was just over here. No, they keep it consistently as if it's actually playing live. They did a heck of a job.
That's pretty cool.
And like I said, we could talk about this movie forever. Like even when they go on to Scarif and the troopers go down and start helping them, and the AT-ATs are walking and they're fighting. Like,
all right, so how about
Sand Troopers?
How about we do this?
No. I'm just saying Sand Troopers.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You guys want to move on and reveal our number ones?
I want to keep talking about.
Here's the thing: we can still do that because Logan screwed up and told us what his number one was.
I thought it was obvious.
all right, 3, 2.
I wonder where your two are.
Yeah. That doesn't shock me.
I'm actually glad yours is Revenge Sith, because there's something I wanted to say about that when you talk about it that I just saw recently I never realized before that I thought was pretty cool.
Empire.
Revenge of the Sith. Is it so? And maybe it's recency bias because I am such a Rogue One fan. I've always said Rogue One has got to be my favorite Star Wars movie. But Alicia and I just watched Revenge of the Sith because we just finished up Clone Wars, and so we're watching it even with closed captioning on, just so that way like we don't miss any details. Which I've never watched Star Wars with closed captioning on.
I do all the time.
Because you're old.
No, actually, because usually there's someone else sleeping. A lot of the time, if someone else is sleeping or if there's someone else in the house, sometimes I'll put it on really quiet and I'll watch with the subtitles.
So I noticed something that I never noticed it before. When Anakin is in the temple by himself after they discover, like, Mace Windu's going to go confront Palpatine, and Padme's in her condo. That's what I guess what we'll call it, Coruscant condo. And the Emperor, I never knew that he actually speaks to Anakin there. And he says, basically, like, if they kill me, you're going to lose your only chance to save Padme. I didn't realize that he actually speaks to him through the Force and basically plays on his emotions again, like, they're coming to get me. This is your last chance. You can come save me. But Ian McDiarmid makes that movie for me. The way that he is able to act and just manipulate and use, like, his voice, because he bounces back and forth between Chancellor Palpatine and Darth Sidious, but he does it in like a seamless way, and it's anytime that he's trying to twist that knife. And I know that you said, and obviously I'm on Logan's side on this one. You said that the Kylo Ren change from dark to light was better than the change from from Anakin to Vader. I 1,000% disagree. I think that
I'm basically saying it was a change that happened over 3 movies.
Kylo Ren.
Yes.
Correct.
It was a change that happened over 3 movies. It wasn't rushed into 2 hours to happen, is basically what I meant by it.
And I guess the other take that I'm also bringing the fact that I've seen all of the Clone Wars into Revenge of the Sith. If Clone Wars, the show, didn't exist, the prequels would not be anywhere near as good. So I'm saying...
Wow, look at the last couple episodes of Clone Wars that they brought out recently that intertwine with Revenge of the Sith, and it's so awesome.
Yeah, by the way, Alicia was losing, like, she was like, I bought a Clone Wars shirt. Alicia was like, why didn't you buy me one?
Nice.
She was a little irritated, but she thought that those last 4 episodes with Ahsoka and Maul and like Order 66, she was blown away. She actually said, I wish all of Star Wars was animated like this. She's like, I loved it that much.
Yeah.
But Revenge of the Sith opens on a banger with the Battle of Coruscant. You get to see, like, Anakin fight Count Dooku, and, like, that first, like, I shouldn't say first. Like, it's that final steps towards him being twisted. Like, he's still listening to his friend and companion, Chancellor Palpatine, but obviously from the guise of Darth Sidious, and you just see him twisting the knife into Anakin the entire movie. They don't trust you. Oh, I hope they select you for this mission. They're crazy if they don't. Oh, the entire movie, and then like I love it. I love it.
One of my favorite Revenge of the Sith scenes will always be the opera scene with
Leave Us.
Yeah,
yes.
and just what he, like, the Jedi never told you the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
But it's like cool because it's like, he was so powerful to the Force, but he couldn't save himself, and it's like.
Do you ever look at Ian McDiarmid when he's talking like that, and he's like, how ironic, like the way he like cants his mouth, he's like, how ironic, but like he looks so like convincingly cunning.
One thing I will say about Revenge of the Sith that I absolutely, and it's only been something that's brought up recently, and it really made me think. I do not like, and the explanation. I'll tell you what the explanation was too, but I do not like that. Like, how does the Force lightning mess him up so bad, but never messes anyone else up so bad?
I don't actually understand the explanation for that, so can you elaborate?
Well, the explanation I saw from like people discussing it was that he didn't change. He did not burn, like, get that way from that. He always looks like that, but he was not, through the Force, was not showing his true self, and was the explanation.
I've heard that
that they
before.
gave.
I didn't realize that was like the official.
I don't know if it's the official. Like, it's just one thing.
No.
You will die.
Well, because the dark side does like warp your body, right?
Well, it's just the lightning is, everyone's been, I mean, Luke was lightning longer than anybody was in Star Wars, and he didn't, by the same person who's doing that lightning.
Yeah.
Probably 10 times more powerful than he was then.
Maybe it could have something to do with like him.
Because he was yelling unlimited power.
Yeah.
That's got to be what it was.
It could be something like using it, like, because obviously the dark side's not good. Like it makes our eyes
Poisons
yellow.
you.
Yeah,
Well, that's a certain point of view.
well, that's true, but I mean,
The thing I wanted to say earlier that I didn't get to say with my Revenge of the Sith discussion was, and I never really put much thought to it. George Lucas did something really well in the movie that I never realized before. At the end of the movie, when Padme is dead and Anakin is now Vader and becoming Vader, it is scene for scene the exact poses from Padme's body to Vader's body. You see this like cut up of Padme in the casket. You see the same cut up of Vader and the thing, and it actually, I went and watched it real quick to see, and I was like, okay, that is pretty awesome. It's like scene for scene. It shows the side view of Padme, the side view of the Vader.
So just perfect symmetry.
Yeah, it was
Like perfect symmetry of saying goodbye to Anakin and hello to Vader.
Yeah,
I really like that. Yeah, I noticed that they had them similar, but I didn't know they were perfect. Like, that's pretty cool.
yeah. So
I could keep going. I'm just not gonna.
Logan, I mean,
yeah.
Rogue One, and I'm very proud of you as a child right now, because
You get a ride home. You don't have to walk.
yeah, like, I mean, kudos to you. Like, Rogue One, we all know it's an amazing movie.
Yeah, I won't touch on it too much. I mean, you guys did pretty well. The first time I saw the movie, I actually fell asleep.
Yeah, this is crazy. You know it's crazy?
Because that's what you said.
Yeah.
Do you remember, like, we all went and saw it in the theater, and I can't remember if I was, like, I don't know if I was working at UPS at the time and, like, going to college, and I was so sleep deprived. I remember where I fell asleep and where I woke up. I fell asleep after they got imprisoned, or, like, by Saw Gerrera.
Yeah.
And I woke up in the middle of, like, the Death Star, like they were, like, the planet was already falling over top of them, and I, like, wake up, I'm like, what the hell did I miss?
A lot.
I remember Scott, my brother Scott.
I'm so mad.
My brother
so
Scott
mad.
slept through like 3/4 of Solo, and then
I remember that. Yeah.
Then when we leave the theater, he's like, "Oh, that movie sucks." Like, you didn't even see any of it.
I remember that. I think I was there.
You seen none of it.
Yeah, I remember that.
What was that movie we were all so jazzed up to go see, and you were so excited, and then I looked over, and you were like 4 seats away from me. Otherwise, I would have woke you up. But you were like,
I'm gonna be honest with you. Here lately at the movie, and even that, there's just not good enough movies anymore to keep me intrigued, and that's why like I get irritated with Star Wars fans, because like Mandalorian and Grogu was the only movie this year so far that I went to theaters where I was like, oh, that was actually really good. Like, I've seen so many other like childhood movies and stuff that they're bringing out that I wanted to be better, and they just weren't. And so for that to get stupid fans,
yeah.
But
One thing I'd also like to say, like, after, I think it was just the first Star Wars movie I saw, and I know it was, like, without, like, laser swords and blasters and things blowing up, because I guess the only movies before that would have been, well, Force Awakens would have been before that, and that has a lot of those things, but I think that's why I fell asleep, and after, like, I heard so much about it, like, I kind of forgot about the movie for a while, and then I was like, I'm gonna watch this again, and I put it on the one, I was like, oh my gosh, I missed so much from, like, because that's how I felt about Andor the first time I watched it. First season, I was like, I can see how people like this, but I don't know if I'm a big fan of it. I really don't. It's just, it's very slow, but I watched it again, and I realized it's gonna be slow. It's gonna be, but that makes
the prison stuff in Andor. Is
that makes the bigger scenes like that
One
more
way out.
open. Yeah, that's us.
one way out.
Oh, my mic's blocking it.
But now I see it from a different perspective as I like it, but I can almost understand why some people don't like it. Because it is slow. It is slower. I wouldn't say it's a good reason, but I do understand it. Andor,
yeah, not Rogue One.
Especially season 1. The action is minimal in season 1, but season 2 it picks
Season
up.
2 is
big
amazing.
time.
Yeah. But I was also thinking, I wonder how different this would have been if they swapped K2SO and L3 from movies.
We would have thought Solo was the
Yeah.
greatest movie ever.
Wow, that is a really wild thought.
It's one I never would have.
Well, I was thinking of like Disney droids and like the humanoid ones. I don't know how they made K2SO and then they made L3 right after that.
Alan
was just
Tudyk
like-
is just a
you had
comedic genius.
because you had two completely different creative minds involved.
Yeah.
That's why.
If L3 was in Rogue One, she would have been dismembered for parts.
the first one dead.
Dismembered for
Well, and the
parts.
thing is, you have to understand with Solo, there was like multiple directors and writers involved that kept getting switched, and Ron Howard ended up finishing it. So I mean, knowing Ron Howard's stuff, and I do not think that was a Ron Howard character. I think that was a character that was already filmed in the movie before he took over.
Mm.
You know, so
Well, it's also funny that the voice was Captain Phasma.
Really?
Yeah,
I know.
same actress.
I can kind of.
Brienne of Tarth.
I can. Make
Brienne
sense.
of what, Tarth?
yeah. So, yeah, I guess.
You didn't even comment, by the way, that they do all those Rebels callbacks in Rogue One. Like,
Oh yeah,
All the
General
Easter
Syndulla,
eggs.
can you report?
and you
You
see,
see Chopper.
yep,
Yep.
and the Ghost in the corner, like you see the
Mhm.
front of Ghost.
Well, it's in the final space battle, too.
And
It
it's in the
is.
Final Space Battle, yeah. Yeah, they and then back to Empire. Where Greg and I both Greg and I are both Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And I mean, you want to go first? I mean, you have something.
It's
I'd have bet $1 billion that it was going to be.
It was
Rebels.
tough. We've already discussed that this was a tough.
Yeah,
it was going
I
to be
mean,
tough for us.
Paul and I have had the Rogue One versus Empire discussion multiple times, multiple car rides, out to assorted events that we've been to, and just in general. And I knew going into this that Paul and I were going to have in spots 1 and 2 Rogue One and Empire Strikes Back, but I didn't know. I wasn't 100% confident that we were going to be the same 1 and 2, but I knew the 1 and 2s were going to be the same between us. Empire is so moving because it's the dark moment for the rebels. It's their moment to overcome, because
It's the breaking point.
it's their breaking point. If they don't get to a point where they're gonna put up or shut up, they're gonna get shut up, quite literally. And at the end of that movie, you've got Han Solo's frozen carbonite. You have no idea if they've basically scattered to the wind. You've got no idea what's in store for them, other than the fact that Luke got a hand, and when you poke his fingers, it actually moves again.
You know what it
But-
is? Empire is the Infinity War of Avengers.
I can agree to that.
It's
to a
almost like
degree.
another hopeless moment.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get that at the end of Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope, and I think that shows more when what happened before.
Yeah.
That why it's called A New Hope, because it's kind of hopeless before that movie. Like all the shows before that too, like Obi-Wan especially.
Yeah.
And after that, Empire Strikes Back, it's another. I mean, Han Solo's gone, and they gotta go get him, and they also Luke loses his hand. Like it's another hopeless moment.
Yeah, you have a new hope, and then your hope gets stripped, which is why they struck back.
yeah.
Yeah, I this is how I would describe Empire Strikes Back. It's like you've had in A New Hope, you have Vader, and you have the Imperial March. But in Empire, you feel the Imperial March. You feel it. You feel the actual real power of the Empire. They didn't just go. The Death Star got destroyed. They didn't just go cower in a corner anywhere. They want revenge. They're hunting down this rebellion, and they're killing this rebellion.
Yeah.
And the pure dominance of Vader in that entire movie, and I'm not talking about physical dominance. I'm talking about mental dominance.
That's the big thing, is mental dominance.
Is awesome. And, you know, obviously the lightsaber fight with Luke, like, he could have killed Luke. He chose not to kill Luke.
Straight up toying with him the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally just standing there and stuff's beating Luke upside the head and stuff like that.
Searching for his apprentice.
You know, yeah, yes. And the thing is like the Cloud City stuff. I mean, Cloud City is an unbelievable thing in Star Wars. The carbonite stuff, and then, you know, back to like talk about in a fantasy movie, this has to be the greatest love story with Han and Leia. I mean, you know, she kisses her brother in the same movie, you know, which, whatever. I mean, it's been a talked about controversial thing in Star Wars forever, but you know,
they didn't know.
You go from Han pursuing her, and like he obviously loves her the whole time, but for her to say it to him when he's getting ready to be put in carbonite, and then the you know, him not say it back, just with even though that was not in the script,
that was totally
Harrison Ford saying "I know," and it was like she knew he loved her, like she knew that, you know. It just like the whole movie, even with Lando's character is so good, he's so fun, you know. Money spoke for him and protection of, like, he did the right thing. He's protecting his people, you know, and, you know, everything. The R2 and C3PO moments in Empire are so good. The Chewbacca moments are so good. And
even Chewbacca trying to reassemble
3PO and stuff like that.
It's up backwards.
Yeah. And once again, the Hoth sequence, you know, them in the caves and the snow falling down as the walkers are coming.
Oh, and when
center
R2
the base
melts the room and gets all of Leia's clothes wet. You remember that comment?
No.
Okay, so when they're walking through after I think when Luke is missing, C-3PO says something to R2. He goes, "I only commented that it was cold in her room. How we're gonna dry out all of her clothes, I have no idea." As they're walking away. You gotta go rewatch it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, they literally turn the heat up in Leia's room and they get all her clothes wet because they melt the walls.
Yeah, even the start of it with the probe droids. And Vader is like, you know, that's where the rebels are, and I forget which Imperial officer like argues it with him, and then when it ends up being right, you see like the tension there. Like I said, Vader didn't do anything. He didn't have to do anything. Like, he knew, you know, he was going to be the next one with a mustache on, like a robot chick.
Was now A.A. Ron.
Yeah. But not just, like I said, Empire for me,
oh,
it's tough not to put it as number one because the villains won in that movie. It ended on a sad note. You know, it was not like the epic ending of blowing up a Death Star. It was the Empire now has the upper hand.
Yeah.
And not too many movies back then, I'm not too sure, but like not too many of movies had a villain really winning. Like a whole movie based on a villain winning.
That wasn't really very heard of.
Yeah.
No.
And we had the introduction of the Emperor
Mm-hmm.
in Empire Strikes Back. You know, and yeah, I mean it's we could same with Rogue One. We could talk about these movies. I think for
my
hours.
opinion is it's really hard to argue Empire being the greatest of all time.
I understand. Makes sense.
I'm telling you, if I had the same experiences, I'd probably say yes.
Yeah, and yeah,
but instead I have, you were my brother, Anakin.
Yeah,
I loved you.
And it's yes, and none of us got to experience that for the first time live in a theater. That, you know, Vader was Anakin Skywalker. Like, none of us did. And not only that, I mean, as amazing as it was, but, you know, obviously everyone in the prequels, even you started watching because if you never watched other movies, you would have known that who Anakin Skywalker was.
Oh yeah, you know, guys, I actually made that mistake once. I had a friend who had never seen Star Wars before.
So you're a jerk.
Well, you know, I wasn't. I am. I admit that. But I mean, in this particular case, though, I just wasn't thinking, and I'm like, well, let's just watch the movies chronological order. And you know, we get to that reveal, and he's like, well, I kind of knew that because I saw them being born.
I mean, even all the posters for Episode 1 every time there was a poster with Anakin, it had Darth Vader's shadow
Yeah.
behind him.
So like when he, when he saw it for the first time, I was just like, oh man, I screwed up. I should have had him watch the Chop Order.
Yeah, but it's hard to find someone who hasn't seen Star Wars who doesn't know Anakin is Darth Vader.
I mean, at this point, you're right. It is very, very difficult. But I had found one and I screwed it up.
That's where
Leave it to me.
That's where I thought the biggest mess up was with the sequel trilogy, is like to make it believable and make it more fun. Rey should have been maybe not Luke's daughter, but Luke's granddaughter that maybe he didn't know about or whatever.
Or
so
Solo.
like to really keep the Skywalker name going, and like, I think it would have been like the reveal of her being like that wasn't even fun to me. Like it didn't have a purpose, and
I kind of had that that meme where the kid's going.
Yeah, it kind of
I was like, really?
Like
Really?
it like I said, it would have been, Luke, whatever. I mean, I guess I could rewrite this a million times, but like Luke's with his wife, Mara Jade, because she's a canon character, even though she was never in any Star Wars or whatever.
Is she canon now?
Pretty sure she's a canon character. I think they've used her in some comics and stuff again. And,
I hope so.
but like, say, the stuff happens with the Jedi Order or whatever, and he disappears, and she's left without him. Well, here she's pregnant, and they have a kid, and then that kid has a kid, and
Yeah.
I just think that would have been such a cooler.
Well, it's like how Cassian Andor has a kid.
Yeah, he doesn't know about.
Well, and he'll never know about.
Yeah,
Which sucks.
I wonder if they'll ever, probably not touch on that again.
Who knows? I mean, it's canon and it's It's
well,
material.
a lot of people believe that the Starfighter movie, that Ryan Gosling's character is the boy they show at the end of The Last Jedi with the broomstick.
Oh, that would what? That is the one thing I did like about that the kid had the Force powers. And, and then that's like the only thing about the Canto Bight stuff was that. I don't know.
When did you see that in? Is it Rise of Skywalker?
That was the end of
Last Jedi.
Okay.
Yeah, the boy who was there at the stables or whatever.
Release the horses.
He uses the
Or not
force,
the horses,
uses the
right.
force, and grabs the broom and starts sweeping, and then it shows him at the end like looking up, and he like tilts it up like a lightsaber.
Yeah.
But that's what a lot of people,
That's right.
because they know that all we know is this story, that the Starfighter is post Rise of Skywalker. They announced that. That's all we know. But a lot of people with speculation believe it's like 30 years later, and it's,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see.
It's before Rise of Skywalker?
No,
Mm-mm.
after.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry, I thought so.
Well, everybody.
Well, we're not done because we got to tally up points.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
So
say we're gonna.
we'll be back in a quick cut right
I was gonna
here.
say, we're gonna cut and we're gonna tally up and we're gonna see which movies are the winners and what order everybody came in, and we'll be back. All right, so we're back.
We're back. Guess who's back?
So we tallied up the scores, and there were no tiebreakers, therefore no arguing needing to be had.
All right, let's roll with it.
Okay.
Coming in last place
Can you predict?
is, with 1 point, The Last Jedi.
And who's the one that gave it the point?
I did.
You?
You gave it the point.
It was not my last.
It was not your last. Your last was Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
All
1
right.
point. 1 point.
Coming in second last, Rise of Skywalker.
Wah wah wah.
I feel like this is going in my order so far. How many points?
This was 7 points.
7
7
points.
points. Okay.
So that was 11 and 10. So, no, 12 and 11.
Yep.
So
Number 10. Top 10.
ranked number 10, Attack of the Clones with 8 points.
Okay.
So only just barely creeping out Rise of Skywalker.
Sniffing the bottom of the barrel.
That makes sense.
And at number 9, The Force Awakens.
Oh.
All right.
Which surprises me that it ends up being that low overall.
That's because Logan didn't rate it high enough to give it anything.
I feel like Greg didn't put it as third least favorite.
That is true. This is one I don't agree with that belongs at this low, but it is. Yeah.
I'm not the one who made the scoring system.
All right.
Hey, it's supposed to be how the generations see it differently.
And at number 8. Right, number 8.
Number 8.
We got 18 points with Solo.
And this is the first
that's
big
weird.
point gap
That
we
is
have,
weird.
right? Oh, no, 17 to 18. Okay.
That's weird. I felt like Solo could have been higher.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right.
Solo's
All right.
18.
No one really liked.
Angel had Solo pretty low.
That's
I did.
right.
Yeah, you did. It's your fault.
But I said it was the first. Was one of the
You were-
first ones? Or
Yeah,
second?
I think that was when you were getting into I like all the movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 7. The Phantom Menace.
Hmm.
And that was high up on Angel, so everyone else having it kind of low kind of took that
Lisa,
out.
not surprised.
All right. Number 6 with 21 points.
21 points.
The Mandalorian and Grogu.
All right. Well,
Makes sense.
yeah, it could have been lower.
This one here, I mean, if we, maybe if we do it in a year or two, maybe this changes.
You know, it's so
I
funny,
think
though.
so, yeah.
Like, look at those last couple. 17 points, 18 points, 19 points, 21 points.
Yeah.
Look how close they all are.
Yeah.
So that was number 7. Number 6 with 25 points. Return of the Jedi.
All
Can't
right,
even read that on the screen.
So we're finally starting to get a little further away here in points. We're starting to get a gap again.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's where our opinions
We're at
started
the top
changing.
5. Top
Yeah.
5.
Is that the
Yeah.
top 5? All right. In 5th place with 32 points. A New Hope.
Okay. Oh, that's respectable for
Fifth
an,
place.
for an OG OT.
For a movie made in 1977.
I think it might have been my number 5 on my list. So
Yeah. What we got? What we
Top
got?
3.
Top 3.
wait, that was number 4 or number 5?
That was number 4.
Then never mind. I thought we were already in top 5. Okay, number 3, top 3.
Number 3 with 36 points. Revenge of the Sith.
All right.
Okay.
That was a good movie.
See, I'm good with all of these being in the top 3 though. Like these all make sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, 39 points. The Empire Strikes Back.
Number 2.
Number 2.
I hate you guys.
That's because the only reason I was number 2 is because it was a lot further down Angel's list than it should have been.
Yeah.
At number 4, I think.
I blame Angel for that.
And then
Hey, it's allowed to be number 2.
number 1 with a ridiculous score of 41.
Wow.
Woo!
Rogue One.
Also respectable. I like I said, guys, and then that flipped between that and Empire for me constantly.
So as far as the One Way Out Star Wars podcast go, we believe Rogue One, a Disney era
Ooh.
Star Wars movie, is the number 1 Star Wars movie of all time.
So there you go. Rogue One is generationally the greatest Star Wars movie.
100%.
And this was very scientifically done.
I mean, it's true. I mean, we had
Think about that though. Yeah, everything that you like about the movie, as
Yeah.
being less than half their age, is everything that I like about the movie. Is everything you guys like about the movie.
There's nothing that
It spans across generations. There's no like, oh, like I didn't have this emotion towards it. No, like we all share the same feeling.
that movie was very well crafted.
So you know what that means. Now we have to have a watch party for Rogue One.
Yeah, I guess we're all watching Rogue One, not Solo tonight.
no. I mean, it's I would have bet good money that our top 3 actually would have been Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One, and Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
I did think A New Hope would be up there as well. So
Yeah.
and what was number 3?
Number 3 was Revenge. Number 4 was New Hope.
So I actually predicted that I thought that was going to be the top 3.
Okay.
I knew Angel would have Revenge of the Sith really high, and I thought Logan would as well. And I actually had it respectively pretty high as well.
I think I did too.
So,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Rogue One, I mean, congratulations.
There's a reason why I tell everybody to go watch Rogue One. There's a reason why I say it's probably the best Star Wars movie of all time.
Yeah.
But like I said, once again, I know we said it a couple times, but to me, like the haters of Disney Star Wars is like,
They're crazy.
you're crazy.
Yeah.
If you hate it, it's because you didn't watch it. Because there's no-
You just don't like good movies.
Or if
Because
you-
it's not just about Star Wars. It's a good movie.
yeah.
And even if you're talking about the sequels too, like there's one thing the sequels aren't, and they're not boring. I'm
Yeah.
not sitting there sleeping because it's that boring. They're not boring. They don't make sense at times.
Yeah.
They're not.
It's actually a really good point. Yeah,
It's-
they're really like there's not a like slow boring thing.
Yeah.
It's the like I said.
Well, the slow race was kind of boring.
It's the hype. It's the hype. Like Star Wars fans go in there like I did with the Mandalorian Grogu with such anticipation, and it and if it doesn't meet it, it's hard. But I don't think spending like it bothers you that much that live rent free in your head. You go and have to complain about it online for the last 8 years now, 7-8 years.
Yeah.
That's a tad bit much.
Yeah, I think that's kind of crazy, but
It's time to move on, people.
and every one of these movies in this list will continue to be watched by me
Yeah, 100%.
for a lifetime.
Like
So-
The Last Jedi
All of
is
them, yeah.
at the bottom. The Rise of Skywalker's barely above it. I'm gonna end up watching both of those again,
of course. And the thing
and
is,
I'm gonna enjoy them.
the thing that's awesome is like when we talk about things like someone else didn't realize or didn't see, like like I said earlier about the Gungans not dying, and you're like, oh,
I didn't
Yeah,
notice it
I
until you had started talking about
I
it.
hadn't even thought about that.
When they're
That's
lit-
just wild.
they're literally
to me.
piling all these battle droids on piles, but there's no Gungans.
Yeah.
Maybe they piled the droids on top of the Gungans so they wouldn't have to look at them.
Or maybe they dug a quick hole in and show it. I don't know, but
Maybe
I told you they just have the best medics.
Maybe Gungans melt into the Force.
What's the medical guy, the magic guy from the Gungans? He's in the Clone Wars. He messes with Boss Leone's mind.
isn't it like the shaman? He's like a shaman kind
Yeah,
of.
he's like a shaman. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Why do I keep doing this? I'm terrible with names.
Yeah, and you if you don't know the Clone Wars characters' names, I'm never gonna know the Clone Wars characters' names.
Everybody in the audience needs to take note. This is the time
Because I can
Angel
quote,
could
I
remember
can
something about
quote,
the Clone
I can
Wars.
quote the guy. I can quote the guy because he's like, "Oh, leader, a Boss Leone is a dead."
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. These episodes were a lot of fun.
I enjoyed this one. It did not seem like it was as long as it was.
We're gonna do some. We're gonna do our top live action shows. We're gonna do one on that. I said we should do a top 5 heroes and top 5 villains.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
And then a top 5 Jedi, top 5 Sith. We're gonna have some cool ones coming out here in the near future.
Absolutely.
So if you enjoy long-winded, very lengthy and educational and passionate content, subscribe and like this video.
I mean, please subscribe. I mean, we
Share.
we want to see your comments. If you have ideas for videos or whatever, there's nothing too crazy. Just let us know and
Start an argument in the comments. Which movie do you think we got wrong?
yeah.
Why'd you look right at me? Why'd you look right at me?
Because we know which one you got wrong.
I'll tell you what. Of this thing, the most surprising for me, I was not surprised that Greg put the all sequel trilogy all in his bottom 3.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I was actually extremely surprised that I know you liked obviously the prequels, but I was surprised you had episode 1 as high as you did.
Yeah.
And I know you said
Me
that
too.
you said that you were like, oh, this is going to be I was shocked about that. I thought Logan would have had Force Awakens a lot higher.
100%.
I agree with that. That was.
Yeah.
But I was completely predictable.
You were predictable. Well, and I think I was pretty predictable for the number 1 and number 2.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent enough time with you that I think I knew pretty much your entire list.
Yeah.
I think after hearing what you guys said, if I would have gone back, maybe I would have put Force Awakens up 2 places, 2 or 3 places. It definitely had potential to, 100%.
Okay.
But I don't know what I would have moved out of those 2 places or how I would have put them. I guess that would have been. I don't remember. Maybe.
Well, like I said, they were all so close.
Yeah.
It was literally
Right.
17, 18, 19, 21.
It gets so hard when you get to that middle section when you're looking for there's
It's
nothing.
like, this is a good movie, but can I put it above this one?
Yeah.
The way I ended up settling on it, I was like, okay, which one would I rather watch?
Yeah, that's kind of what I did.
Yeah, and I think that's why it goes down to just how your connection to that specific movie is, because it's hard to judge off of what happened in the movie and what you thought was cool in the movie. It really boils down to how the movie makes you feel.
Yeah, perception.
I'll tell you-
100%.
I'll tell you the only one in here that kind of upsets me is how low the Force Awakens is. And also like I said, we're still on a Mandalorian and Grogu hype. Will Mandalorian and Grogu still be above movies like Solo and the Force Awakens after it's out for years?
That definitely bears a revisit then.
You know,
Yeah.
but I mean, The Force Awakens, like I said, that for me is probably the most surprising, as low as it is
So that's what I'm going home and watching.
on the list. Because I mean, it is substantially the best movie in that trilogy.
Yeah, easily.
It's not even a close. It ain't like it's like, oh, arguably, there's no argument that it is by far the best movie in that trilogy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, anyway, thank you for watching. It's going to be multiple episodes, but we just spent like 4 hours here recording them, so
Yeah.
you know, it's pretty late and we were tired before we got here. So
We were tired. Actually, I feel more energetic now that we're done because I felt very tired coming out. It's like I messed up.
I definitely cut the camera away from myself so I could yawn a couple
wait,
times.
I would always look at the camera. I would either yawn or pick my nose every time you would switch over. Logan. I've been sick for like 2 weeks, so like I just have this weird stuff in my nose. But
Can't wait to pick that off my floor with the.
yeah, but thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Please, like Angel said, subscribe, like, share. Please comment. Like we want to know what you want to see. We promise as subscribers get heavier, we will do giveaways. We will do fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we'll make Greg wear his Wookiee costume out in public. I don't know. We'll do some fun stuff.
Y'all acting like I haven't done that before.
Yeah. Yeah. But thanks for watching the One Way Out, a Star Wars podcast. And as always, may the Force be with you.